What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Hoopz Junkiez Podcast. I'm your host, Marcus. I got my brother AB right here with me, and we got our favorite Golden State hater, Hot Take Jay. He on the line with us, and we here for another exciting podcast. And today we're going to be talking about some good stuff. As y'all know, it's a lot of free agency deals happening around the league right now, and so we're going to get a chance to get into that. And Jason, yeah, I see you changed your background, brother. I'm missing the shoes. I was going to ask you about another pair of shoes.
We can get to that. I just, we in between. I just came up on this new PC because, my internet connection was killing me.
Yeah.
Upgrade the hardware. So we're going to make sure that's right. I just copped a couple new pairs. So
cool. Hey, as a matter of fact, I got a pair of my first Jordans on the way. I just ordered them like yesterday. The day before yesterday.
Just kind of getting shown up, huh?
Yeah, well, I'm not too big on like buying shoes because I'm real hard on them, and so I don't like to spend a lot of money on them. But
they Jordans or they Jumpmans?
They Jordans. They Jordans. They running shoes though. It's not like because I go for comfort. Even above brand, I go for comfort.
Is your Jumpman facing the right direction? Are both of his legs the same length?
Are you asking if they Jordache or Jordans?
I mean, I remember the Jordache thing. I got a story to tell you too about when I was in Korea messing around.
There you go with his swap meet Jordans. We're gonna get.
I've been there and done that.
We're gonna get into that. Remember, we used to have a flea market around the corner from where we lived in Houston. We used to walk up, get paid, walk up to the flea market, go get some
45 flea market.
Yeah. We used to get that the Carl Kanai. It wasn't really Carl Kanai.
I remember that brand too.
You remember? I was looking up Carl Kanai the other day because I was gonna try to bring it back, but But we'll get into all of that. But let's get to it, y'all, because we got a lot to cover. So the first question that I have is that I want to talk about is, what do you guys think was the most devastating free agency move that's happened so far across the league? You can go ahead, Jason. Let us know what you think about the most devastating move in free agency that has like a real big impact on the league coming in the 2021 season.
I would say, Aaron and I have talked about this before, and where it's like a JaVale McGee, sometimes, or Marc Gasol. I'm not sure how much the Lakers needed Marc Gasol or how much he has in the tank, and I think he can be huge for the Lakers. Mm-hmm. But for them, it's almost like, we don't want him to go to the Clippers or the Warriors, so we're going to get him, and even if he rots on our roster. And for me, the low-key one, because I'm so bullish on my boys and the Warriors, I think that letting us come up on Oubre for like the trade exception, is going to be low-key one of the biggest moves. I wanted to say Serge, but I think that either Serge or Kelly Oubre. I think those are the ones that have championship implications.
Some of the most devastating moves, the Kelly Oubre and Serge Ibaka.
Yes, I think that those are the two of the most. If the Warriors or the Lakers, which leads to my next question, with the next topic that we're going to get into, is who's going to be top two teams in the West. Again, Lakers, Warriors.
Okay, so what makes Kelly Oubre so dangerous though for the Warriors?
We would have been crippled. We would have been. Where are the Rockets when they're seventh man short and then they go down to sixth man because you got no Daniel House, right? Mm-hmm. It's a linchpin to making everything else work. And us down a quality body was about to cripple us. But when you turn around and you slide somebody in who may give you 70% of the production, and we can round it out with depth, that's where it's an underrated move, but the casual fan just turning into ESPN won't see it, but it's a body that's needed. And Serge brings that that 3 and D from the big, rim running, dunking, and then space the court on offense out to that corner 3, just like PJ Tucker does.
What do you think about that, AB? What do you think about that?
Say the question again.
The most let's respond. Let's respond. It's all good. Let's respond to Jason though, because he said that he think the most devastating move was the Serge Ibaka move and Kelly Oubre. What do you think about that?
Christian Wood was an honorable mention. But go ahead.
Marc Gasol and Kelly Oubre. I don't even want to address Jason's rambling and nonsense with the Warrior bias. Clearly, he's just talking from a Warrior bias standpoint. No. Listen to what he said. It's not even worth getting into. So, no, I'm going to say for the question was, what was the most influential,
devastating free agency
championship?
Okay, you got to listen to the question, brother.
Okay, so the truth is, Jason rambled on too long. I got a short attention span, man. Listen,
two minutes.
Pot calling the kettle black.
The truth is, there wasn't a devastating free agent signing out of all of it. There's not one single devastating signing. The closest thing that could be devastating would be if Giannis said, "I'm leaving." Now you got something devastating and impactful. But if you just want to talk about, as a whole, the signing, because I don't think there was one, I think there was too much stuff that was very impactful. I think as a whole, 3 teams had something that could change their whole trajectory. The one, as you can see, I'm back in my Rockets gear. I don't have nothing over my head today. So Christian Wood, so I can be biased for a minute like Jason. Christian Wood signing has the potential to change the whole trajectory of where the Rockets offseason was heading. And if they show up the free agency, they don't make the trades, and he comes and he shows that potential that he's been flashing, and they see it, and James Harden and Russell Westbrook see it, they might change their tune on wanting to get out. So that's impactful. The next one was Chris Paul, where it ain't gonna move the needle on a championship level. They just became a playoff team basically immediately overnight. So that changes the trajectory of Phoenix. And then the Atlanta Hawks.
Does it change the trajectory in the West though? I mean, with Phoenix,
because now they're a playoff team. So if you move them in, someone's moving out.
All right.
They're a playoff team. Assuming they're a playoff team, that someone is moving out.
Someone going from the 10th seed to the 7th seed doesn't qualify as devastating or impactful.
Well, I'm saying it. But I started off by saying nothing that happened was devastating. So I'm saying if you're just talking about it as a whole, that what one signing changed the championship discussion? None of it. But if you just talk about kind of, at least as far as moving around the playoff team, you're gonna go into the season, and in the West, I think there's at least 9 teams that expect to be in the playoffs, and at least one of them ain't gonna go. Right?
Jay, what do you have a response to what he just said?
No, I agree with it. I agree with all of it, and I think that maybe a new rule going forward is when you ask a question like that, I'm just going to omit the Warriors from a part of my answer. And the same goes for both of y'all, but namely Aaron, because if I didn't say Kelly Oubre, I would have said Christian Wood. And I second that because after doing my homework on him, I was like, because to me, it was a short list. It was Miles Turner.
Yeah.
And then a washed up Marc Gasol and Serge Ibaka as quality 3 and D guys from the big. Then I go look at Christian Wood and his blocks per minute, his rebounds per minute, his 39% from 3, his length is a godsend to James Harden. And so all of a sudden it takes one domino to set up the rest, right?
So do you I hear you on that, but do you think that both of y'all think the Christian Wood going to the Rockets, do you think that kind of changes the narrative a little bit about James Harden being so dogmatic about leaving?
10 games into the season, it will. 10 games in when he says, "Oh snap, look what we got over here."
Look what we got.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hoping that that's the case. I'm hoping that that's
I
the
have
case.
one more team. Well, I don't like all the moves that they did. They also kind of like Phoenix became a playoff team now overnight.
Atlanta. I
The
was
Atlanta
looking at
Hawks.
that, and
The Atlanta Hawks.
I think we can all agree that they made some power moves.
I don't like the Gallinari signing. I think that you're stepping on toes of young players that you already had in place that need to develop. But if I'm looking over that, if I'm just going to overlook that, they're a playoff team.
Aaron, he's a full-fledged. If all the 4 and 5 minutes go to Gallo, Collins, and Clint, then it's not that bad. I just, in the end, you give 20-something million to somebody who's not going to get you. He's a 3. He's like 6'8", 220-something.
What's that in the NBA nowadays, Jay? That's a
no.
3.
I get that, but again, we're talking about Aaron. Do they have 8 guys?
And Cam Reddish.
And Cam Reddish, you're right. And Rondo, all of them. But go down the roster. There's 8 guys that need minutes. You know there's room for 8 guys. I'm not.
Yeah.
But my problem is that's still too much money for Gallo when he's not going to get you in the top 4. But he will help them do the legwork.
They're a playoff team now overnight.
I agree.
All right, cool. Hey, I like that first segment there. But so let's move on. What teams? What are the new top 2 teams in the West and the new top 2 teams in the East? Aaron, let's start with you on that. Which teams do you think have moved to the top of the pecking order in the West and in the East?
Well, which teams got better in the East is easy, in my opinion. The Philadelphia 76ers got better. And Brooklyn is a wait and see, because if they get their way and they get James Harden, and I think they'll go up. But as it stands, I think they're as likely to excel as they are to fall apart completely. So while I don't like everything that they did, I'm gonna go with Boston. No, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna go with Milwaukee. I'm gonna stay with Milwaukee. Milwaukee been a 60-win team the last 2 years, or at least they're on that pace again, and they got the best player.
I agree.
Drew Holiday will help. I'm gonna go with Milwaukee and Philly, and then Boston as my 3rd seed dark horse for the top 2.
Milwaukee for right now, unless they lose
lose
Giannis. Do you still stand by your take, Jason, on that Giannis thing, where you said that he was going to sign for another for 2 years instead of?
Yeah, he's not gonna commit 4 years, but to go in there with just 1 year left and ride it all the way through, I don't see that.
Hold on, hey Jason, you look like you was frowning up when I said Philly. I know you haven't been a Philly fan, but Daryl Morey has gone in there and in the course of 2 weeks built the roster up the way it's supposed to be built up, and put the kind of players around them that's supposed to be put around. So they got shooting, they got the most dominant big man in the game.
I think it's an incomplete on Philly. Do they have the talent to do it? Yeah, I want to pick them. So as of right now, I'm picking Milwaukee, because I'm just going to bet on some more organic growth and Budenholzer learning from what went wrong.
Yeah.
And because they tried, even with Bogdan, they tried. Bobby Portis, like there's
I like Portis.
Versatility. I do too.
I do too.
There's versatility. They're attacking versatility, not just 3 defensive guys and just 3-point shooters. They need guys that can do both. They need 3 and D up and down the roster. So I like them. The second one, I'm inclined to go with Miami until I see what's going on with Philly, because these are 2 button heads right now. You tell me if Ben Simmons rolls through the first 10 games, the Rockets take James Harden off the table, and this I don't even know the word to describe him that is not getting vulgar and profanity laden, but for him to come out there and not shoot threes, what do you think Daryl Morey layups, dunks, free throws and 3-pointers is going to do. How is he going to take that?
But you know what? So, but here's the thing, though. So just like Russell Westbrook, you think they didn't want him to shoot threes at all. So he's a bigger Russell Westbrook, and he generates the most 3-point looks in the league, and he gets to the rim, and he finishes, put pressure on defense that way.
That's a good point.
You don't have to be the shooter, but you go out there and you surround him with some Seth Currys and his 45% 3-point shooting. Everyone else can shoot. It's literally just Ben Simmons. So even Joel Embiid can shoot threes, probably hit 2 a game at 5 attempts a game. So it's not a perfect fitting. It's not a perfect fitting, but I think that their talent could be so overwhelming, and now that it actually meshes a little bit better with the shooting around them, then I think they could be better. Miami, did they do anything to get better? Other than you just basing it all on internal growth.
Well, they actually traded away Crowder, and they signed Bam.
And then Boston. In Boston, why I don't like letting Gordon Hayward go for nothing, for free, right? No trade exception. You know what I'm saying? Like the reports are they could have traded him for Miles Turner, which would have been a win every day of the week. I don't even know what. There's no more to discuss. Just stop and do that. But until I see otherwise, like I think Miami had an improbable climb to the championship last year. No one really saw that coming, and I'm gonna go with Boston and Milwaukee for now.
Boston and Milwaukee.
Philly and Milwaukee with Boston as my third.
All right, Jay, who you got in the West? What 2 teams in the West do you think are gonna be up at the top?
Lakers and Warriors, but if we're just going to get away from
count your Warriors. Count your Warriors.
You can count it. You can count if you think that's where they're going to be, but you got to back it up.
I put my money on that.
I don't want you to lie to us. Don't lie to us. Tell us what you feel.
Well, if you want to get the honorable third mention in there, just so I can, I would be choosing between.
Well, no, we can't get no. You gonna roll with the Lakers?
I think the Lakers did enough to cement themselves back into the Western Conference Finals.
Okay.
Like I could see that them they.
So now why do you roll with the Warriors though? Besides that, you just a diehard fan. Like what is your justification to say that now they're moving to the top of the West right now? Because I think they're improving right now.
Okay, so Draymond and Steph just had 18 months off. Nothing happened. This is the same team that smacked Portland after they thought that they was riding high in the Western Conference Finals. We didn't have KD, and we smacked them good. And now, instead of Clay, we have Pascal at the 4. We got Wiggins, who played lights out at the end of last season when he put on a Warriors uniform. And then we talking about my hopeful on James Wiseman. And then what I saw with Marquise Chris. When I look at all of it, and Draymond Green has a new level of maturity going on, and then you slide in Oubre, I'm like, Steph is going to be on a tear. We talking about MVP. Steph is coming out the gate, and so I think that they're going to plow through. Everybody else is still going to be tired, jet lagged from the end of the postseason. Bombers championship.
Well, see, I'm there you go with his Bombers. But you know what? I'll push back a little bit and say, okay, you got the Warriors who pretty much, they got rest, they got some experience, they got the championship pedigree, but I don't think they got necessarily better. Whereas other teams around them in the West have gotten better. And I think if y'all look at it, it looks like these teams are now moving again towards having 3, like what do you call it, the big 3, instead of the big 2. It seems like they're going towards that again.
No one really has it though. But I'll say this. Well, I'm kind of with Marcus. Like, did they get better? Steph ain't getting better. Draymond ain't getting better. They're past the best part of their career already, in my opinion, from what I've seen. I seen Steph Curry last year.
They are what they are.
There was 18 months off. What did you see?
Wait, hold on, wait. Can I finish? I said, come on, can I finish? Got my voice going up high. Look, I seen Steph Curry last year come out when KD left, and everybody's like, Steph's about to win a championship. He gonna prove how great he was. And before he broke his hand, for the first 5 games of the season, I seen him getting housed by 40 every night. Every night.
5 games. No Klay Thompson. No Wiggins. Pascal was a 5-game rookie. So Marquise Chris, James Wiseman. I'm going down the list.
But
like, there was nothing serviceable. I could drag 5-year-olds out there too and see how good I look. Like,
hey, listen, man. Listen. I done seen James Harden drag Joey Dorsey and what's his name?
Okay, 5 games, bro. 5 games. No, 5 games.
I done seen him dragged in the 57 wins.
You said no. Okay, you know what? We're gonna have to have some side action on this because I'm tired of you besmirching my man's name.
Someone say that again. Besmirching.
Don't be hitting me with the big words, brother. Put your thesaurus down. Put your thesaurus down, man. Listen.
He said besmirching. Let me look that up.
This is where I'm at with it. Oh, real talk. So I what you're saying could all be true, but you and I both know that when you're playing in basketball, when you're on a bad team, someone has to put up stats, and you know what I'm saying, somebody got to put the stats.
5-game sample size ain't enough, player.
Well, I'm not talking about the 5 games. I'm talking about
you had a what do you call it? A premonition.
Besmirching.
You were looking for some affirmation bias that Steph can't drag a team like James Harden can, and then you took that 5-game sample size and said, "Look, Steph, see, he can't do it." Didn't have nobody out there, G leaders across the board, and you vindicated. You gonna see. It's just
so you telling me? So hold on, the dude broke his hand, man. They held him out for the rest of the season almost. Listen. There's other people that broke their hand after Steph Curry. There are other people that broke their hand after Steph Curry and was back playing a month before this dude. 2 months.
That was about James Wiseman. That wasn't about nothing else.
No, to be fair, that was about the Warriors just conceding the season. They were conceding the season, and so they was like, you know what? We're not gonna win anyway, so let's just rest Steph Curry.
Save the miles. We're gonna get James Wiseman. We're gonna save the mileage on your body. Just go ahead, chalk it up.
This is what I'm saying though. So the sample size that you're talking about, not the sample size, get away from that. But what you're talking about with my Chris Wiggins, now you got Wiseman, Pascal. I like him. I think he's the real one that you named was him. Oubre been on losing teams his entire career too. So there's bad stats, and we have to worry about this a little bit with Christian Wood. So I'm not being biased. You know what I'm saying? When you sit there and you say the jury's out, now you got to show that you can put up stats in a meaningful way and it contributes to winning. Just because those guys put up stats when they were losing every single night, that they put up stats, they were losing, getting housed. So now they're expected to go from getting housed. It's kind of like the Lakers. Right? When you looked at Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Kuzma, and all that stuff, and you said, well, if we add LeBron to it, this should be a championship team or a contender, right? Mm-hmm. What happened? Them dudes, when it got down to it, when you competing for a playoff spot, they weren't ready. And they're talented. Look what Brandon Ingram did this last year. But now they got to learn how to put their talents and what they do into playing winning meaningful basketball in a role they're asked to play, because they ain't gonna be ace boom. That's Steph. Andrew Wiggins has never been able to. He couldn't even live the primary or secondary option in Minnesota, and now Klay is gone. I had more hope for. I took y'all real more before Klay went down, but taking Klay out, I'm not gonna let you sneeze past that. Like, it ain't that big a deal, because we know how much he covers and how much a difference he makes.
All right, well, check this out.
Even for Steph.
Hey. So we're going to move on past that. I think you hammered your point home there.
We'll discuss that more as the season goes on.
You're right.
So,
hey, ain't going nowhere.
All right,
games in, we're going to see what you're talking about.
We're moving into another segment. This one is called Take It or Leave It. Okay, so we want to see who's gonna give the best advice, and we'll see if everybody agree with it. So, Jason, I'm gonna start out with you. Actually, no, I'm gonna start out with you, Aaron, and this is gonna be about LaMelo Ball. You know, recently y'all know that LaMelo Ball he signed with the Charlotte Hornets, and then he tried to decide which shoe company he was going to sign with, and his dad is like, nope, Big Baller Brand. But we know that LaMelo Ball signed with Puma. So we saw this with his brother going into the league, and his dad just kind of in his ear and giving him advice and this and that, and just kind of like running his career. What type of advice would you give to LaMelo Ball when it comes to dealing with his dad?
Go listen to his brother.
Oh, we so like-minded. Yep.
Go talk to your brother. Everything you need to know, everything he needs to know, his brother actually went through it and lived it. He got the perfect example sitting right there in his big brother. Same position, almost the same draft position and all that kind of stuff. And I don't want to poo-poo every single thing that their dad did, because obviously he did something good enough to get his boys in position to be NBA drafted. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And get them, he's 2 for 3, you know? So I don't want to poo-poo everything, but it's like everybody in life, man, it come a point where you got to leave the nest. You got to go out and go grow up, become a man, do things on your own. No one can take you serious when you know you consider, you know what I'm saying, the daddy's boy. You got your daddy talking up for you, doing this for, man, he was causing so much trouble on the Lakers out there, saying that, you know, I mean, who did he talk about? What's his
Luke Walton?
He talked about everybody.
He talked about the coach. Everybody. He talked about Julius Randle. You know what I'm saying? Well, he talked about everybody.
He talked about LeBron James.
You got your teammates mad at you. You know what I'm saying? Your teammates like, man, tell your daddy to keep your name out. Like, that's just unnecessary friction. Mm-hmm. His daddy gonna be out there challenging Jordan to a game. Jordan needs to go ahead and put that to rest day one. Come out here, brother. I got my penny loafers on. Put your sneakers, lace them up. Yeah, Melo Ball needs to. The good thing that I see is that, one, I mean, he's the younger brother. He get to learn from his big brother's mistakes, and you kind of grow up a little bit faster, I think, because you're trying to keep up with your big brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Jay, what you think? You think he should take AB advice or leave it? Take it or leave it?
Absolutely.
You gotta say it. Take it or leave it.
No, take it. When I take it, man. When he when you sent us the topic a little earlier, that was my immediate reaction. Well, just go listen to Lonzo. You know, when it's time to stick and move, hey, you know, at some point you gotta, you know, tell your dad, you know, I got this. But there ain't, and he gonna be in Charlotte too, so he ain't gonna be in LA. So,
Jason, now it's your turn. Daryl Morey dealing with a possible mutiny on his hands, where you have your star players trying to leave the city, trying to leave the team. What type of advice would you give to, I said Daryl Morey, right? Tillman Fertitta. What type of advice would you give to Tillman Fertitta with how to handle it? Should he blow the team up, or should he do something to try to keep them?
I think that when you are the head decision maker and the buck stops with you, I think that you have a responsibility to know what you don't know and hire the right people to do what they do, right? And so I would say, you know, give some general guidelines to your GM and your coach and let them do. Stay flexible. You know, if somebody wants to give you 15, if Sam Presti wanted to offer every draft pick that he has, which is about 15 first-round picks for James Harden, then you take it. But if the value ain't there, listen to your people, play this Christian Wood thing out for sure, and see what you got 15, 20 games into the season. And then the first one that's got to go, if you have to make a trade, is Russ.
So see what works first, and then if not, then make the trade.
To the people, stay flexible.
So. AB, take it or leave it.
Hey man, hey, take it. Jay, I'm proud of you,
I
man.
thought for sure he was gonna hate.
I just knew he was gonna come out here and hate and say blow it all up. You know, I was waiting on it. The only thing different that I would say from what you said is that Timmy Fertitta could actually sell the team, and then everybody be happy. Sell the team. Sell the team. We won't have to worry about what he's gonna do if he's gonna make the stupid mistake.
Blow it up from an upper level, right?
Yeah, just blow it up. Sell the team, not to someone who's gonna try to move them out of Houston. No one would actually try to move the Rockets out of Houston, the biggest cities. No. You have to be pretty dumb.
Not only that,
just be
the Rockets, Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, but yeah, man. The only difference, the only thing that I would add to it is not only to let your front office people hire the people and let them do their job, but you remove yourself. Go get all the way out the way. Go sit in the corner. Go sit in the corner. We got it. Everybody else got it. You don't know anything about basketball. You and your son go sit in the corner and quit ruining the Rockets.
I think what some people are doing, like some of these owners are taking a example from Mark Cuban. Remember how active Mark Cuban was with the team when he first started, and he was just kind of out there in the front. Some of them can't do that.
Though, man. He let. I mean, Rick Carlisle been in place for longer than most coaches. Probably outside of Popovich, he's probably the longest tenured coach, right, in the West, maybe in the league.
I don't know. I don't know that for sure.
He been with Dallas for a while. So, and not only that, but Donnie Nelson, like his coach and his front office, they've been in place for a long time, and he listens to them.
Yeah. You agree with that, Jay?
I agree.
Yeah. Thank you for watching the Hoopz Junkiez podcast. If you enjoyed the video, make sure that you like, subscribe, and comment down below. Also, if you want to check out a few more clips, make sure that you hit the bell notification so that you're alerted whenever we post a new video.